Well, hello, welcome to another edition of Take 5. So glad you're with me today. We are in Luke chapter 20, verse 27. It is March 9th, 2012, by the way. There came to him some Sadducees, those who deny that there is a resurrection. And they asked him a question, saying, Teacher, Moses wrote for us that if a man's brother dies, having a wife but no children, the man must take the widow and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers. The first took a wife and died without children, and the second and the third took her, and likewise all 7 left no children and died. Afterward the woman also died. In the resurrection, therefore, whose wife will the woman be? For the 7 had her as wife. And Jesus said to them, The sons of this age marry and are given in marriage. But those who are considered worthy to attain to that age and to the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage, for they cannot die any more, because they are equal to angels and are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. But that the dead are raised, even Moses showed in the passage about the bush, where he calls the Lord the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Now he is not God of the dead, but of the living, for all live to him. Then some of the scribes answered, Teacher, you have spoken well. For they no longer dared to ask him any question. All right, well, this is a lot to deal with here. So let's break it down a little bit. You got Sadducees coming. Now, the Sadducees didn't give Jesus a whole lot of trouble. They gave Paul quite a bit of trouble later, but they didn't really bug Jesus too much. But they are here. And it was the Pharisees mostly that had problems with Jesus. But this time the Sadducees come. And really they're just trying to test him because, see, they don't believe. They didn't believe in a resurrection. They accepted the first 5 books of the Old Testament, but they were ultra. They didn't believe in resurrection. They didn't believe in angels and things like that. And so Jesus deals with all of that here. So they tell this story about some fictional woman that marries somebody, and in Jewish culture. And it's actually in the Old Testament law, if you die and you don't leave your wife any kids, okay, you don't have any kids, your brother, your next of kin, is supposed to marry her. That way you can continue the family line in his name. So apparently, though, this happened brother after brother after brother, and none of them left her any kids at all. So they're trying to trick him, saying, whose wife is she going to be? Well, and what Jesus does, saying, well, it doesn't work that way. In the resurrection, he says, marriage is for this age, not for that age. But he says something interesting. I don't really want to get into all that so much. As something he says here, verse 35, those who are considered worthy to attain to that age. Now let me ask you, who is going to be considered worthy to attain to that age? Well, he gives you a little clue in verse 36. Sons of God, sons of the resurrection. Alright? Those who are sons of God and those who are sons of the resurrection. Well, who are the sons of God and who are the sons of the resurrection? They're those simply who have been born again, and John deals with that in his gospel. We'll get there when we get to John chapter 3. Those who have put on Christ, those who are the children of God because they've chosen to be. And it's a two-way street. He has chosen them, that's in John chapter 1, and yet those children also make a free will decision to be born again and to be adopted into his family. So, it's not that we can earn our way into heaven, but we're considered worthy when we put our faith in Christ and we put our faith in what he's done. That's who's going to make it. These guys didn't have faith in Christ. They didn't even believe in the resurrection. But Jesus goes on to say, look, this resurrection thing, you should have gotten it, because even Moses, when he dealt with God there during the burning bush, he called him the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Now, these were patriarchs who obviously were way dead way back in the past, and yet if he's the God of all of them, that means they rose from the dead. See, so that means there is a resurrection of the dead. So it's just something deep to think about, and I know I've gone a little long today, but there is a resurrection. We want to be the ones that attain to it, and the way we attain to it is by putting our faith in Christ. If you haven't done that, I certainly ask you to do that today. And if you're trying to put your faith in yourself or your obedience, I would encourage you to read the book of Galatians and see how far off track you're going to be doing that. All right, put your faith in Christ. That's going to make you worthy to attain to the resurrection of the dead. Hopefully that helped. We'll deal with the same kind of issue tomorrow, so come back tomorrow for more deep stuff from Luke on the next edition of Take 5.